Alrighty, we're back. Blueprints. Yay, I love this game. So, we're on day 5. We have most recently uncovered this gemstone cavern, so now we begin our day with 2 gems, which is going to be very helpful. So now we don't have to worry about finding them. Well, we still want to find gems, because 2 is not going to get us very far. But it does mean the very beginning of our day will go a lot easier. We can pick whatever room we'd like. But I still do want to come out here. I might just make it a habit to come out here. First thing I do is pick a room. Okay, so what have we not seen? We've done the root cellar. I don't remember offhand. We did the hovel yesterday, and then there was another one we did. I think we did the tool shed. So the trading post, we didn't do last time because it looks like you need to already bring items with you. But I'm going to pick it anyway. And we're going to see if there's something in there we can do. And if not, we will come back to this room later in the day. So this is where we trade items. Yeah, as I suspected, you have no items to trade. So we do have to come back and bring items here. Let's see if there's anything else we can do. There's stuff. Dynamite, a little too dangerous to pick up. The very fact that the game lets us interact with this means there must be something we can do with this. But I'm guessing we need an item. If we can't pick it up, we need an item that picks it up for us, perhaps? Or an item that just lights it. Maybe we just light the dynamite with something. Looks like we can't interact with much here. We can interact with this. Yeah, let's do that. So this is to sort of use the, Key of W version that knows how the game works. This is a Mora Jai game, and there's an instruction in the game of how these games work. But it's possible to solve this one without seeing that first. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try these buttons on the corners and these buttons in the center and see what they all do. So if I click on the pink, it's moving the yellow one nearby the pink. It seems to be rotating the yellow one around the pink. That's what it seems to be doing. If I press this button, nothing seems to happen. Same here, and here. This turns yellow. Now if I press this yellow, well, nothing's happening there. It looks like yellow's moving upward, but it won't do anything else. Oh, and once I move this away, this... Oh. Okay, so it turns yellow. It reset. So, let me do this. No, that turns it yellow. This resets. So it seems like if I press this button while there is a yellow in the corner, it turns yellow. But if I press it when there's not a yellow in the corner, it resets. So I need to figure out, I think, how to get yellows in all the corners. Well, I never want to move this one. That one's going to be there. This one I want to move up here. Now I want to find ways to get these going. Trouble is, how do I ever get yellow here or in this corner? So I'm going to have to find another way that things interact. Well, one thing I haven't tried is moving a yellow onto a pink spot. And if I do that, the yellow and the pink switch places. So that gets the yellow into this corner, but now to get a yellow in this corner, I'd want to rotate. Well, this is never going to quite have... Well, what if I then move this? There we go. So that's just how it's going to go. That opens it, and there's this coin inside. Allowance token. Your allowance has been permanently raised by 2. And I'm sure there's a place that explains what an allowance is, potentially before you get an allowance. But what's going to happen now is that at the beginning of every day, we're going to start with 2 coins. Not this day. This day, we started with 0, so we have 0. But starting tomorrow, we will have 2. Now, 2 is not a lot of coins. It's a lot of gems or keys, but coins you need lots of to do anything with. So, it'll just mean we don't have to collect quite as many. There's a slight disadvantage to starting with 2 coins as well. Like if I construct a chapel today, early in the run, it doesn't hurt me because I have no coins to lose. But if I start with money, then I do have coins to lose, and I don't want to build the chapel. Okay, so let's think about what our goals are for today. I want to get into the antechamber. That's still the main goal, but I need to find a way to get a lever, like find a room that has one, or figure out what the deal is with these levers so I can get inside. and then we'll see what happens after that. Other than that, I don't know immediately. I think there was a puzzle we didn't finish. There definitely was something in the laboratory last time we couldn't do. I think I mentioned it needs power, which would be from the boiler room. So there is a chance if we find a boiler room, we could do that. Otherwise, I think we're just keeping our eyes and ears open for anything useful. So let me see what happens if I open this. Oh, no, hold on, those. We talked to Alzara, and by talked I mean we put in the coin and he spoke to us about the predictions. There were some red letters, and then he was talking about these pictures. Just like the red letters, there is a letter missing. So there's something about these pictures that we're seeing in almost every room that's important. So let's just keep our eyes on those as well. Okay, so we have some dead ends immediately. Should I do that? Should I just put in a dead end and say we're going to do a dead end? Because a hallway's a really good move here. It opens up a lot of space. Dead end does not, but what a dead end does is it gets it out of my draft pool. Closet, I could find an item to put in the trading post right now, potentially. Coat check. I don't have an item yet. I would have to get one and then put it in here. I'm gonna do the closet. I'm gonna see what happens if I dead end immediately. This is usually not a good idea. And this time it looks like it has not helped us much. Ivory dye is good. Oh, hold on. This is the silver key. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to experiment. Now, in this, this series I'm making, there's a mix of actions I'm taking which I know the result of because I've played the game before, and actions I'm taking that I don't know because in all of my other playthroughs I never did that thing or I haven't actually uncovered that secret. So this is something I actually have never done. I've never traded the silver key. I don't know what it'll do. And I might have wasted steps. I might not want to do this. Actually, no. This is such a good trade. Silver key is good, but it's only one key. Lockpick kit is potentially infinite keys. I'm going to trade this. I don't know if trades are preset, like every silver key you trade goes for a lockpick kit. I don't actually know. I haven't used this room enough times to have 100% guarantee. I could trade the lockpick kit for the compass, not doing that. So I'm keeping the lockpick kit. I think that was a good trade. Now, I'm going to be down a bunch of steps, but considering I started today with 90 because of yesterday's sauna, we're fine. Steps are fine. So that worked out pretty well in my favor, and it was something I genuinely did not know would happen, as opposed to some of the other puzzles where, I do know, but I'm speaking with sort of the newbie key of W voice, pretending not to. So I want to make sure this door goes to the right. That's the first thing I want to do. Chapel might actually be the thing to put here. Not the kitchen. I'm actually going to put the chapel here. It gets it out of my draft pool for later. And then this, I don't really want it to be a den or a hallway. But considering it is the den and the hallway, I'm going to put the den here. It means that this spot is wasted over here because the den and the chapel both lead to it. So anytime you have two pathways that both lead to the same tile, you essentially have limited your options. You now have reduced the number of paths to take. But that's okay because I have a path over here. So I still have 3 routes. I have a route to the right of the chapel or east. I have a route to the west of the den. And then where the den and the chapel converge is a third potential route. But this is important because it gives me another gem, which I want. Yeah, I already have 2, but it's always nice to have more. This should be a parlor, maybe? No. Bedroom. I could make this the storeroom. Ooh, that really limits things, but it gets another dead end out of my draft pool. Locksmith does too, but I have no money, so it's kind of a waste. Bedroom continues the path. I have things going on. But I also could really use a key. I mean, I have the lockpicks, but I could use a key. So I'm going to take the storeroom. I feel like, you know what, today let's make some decisions that may or may not be the most optimal anyway. The game has no time limit. If I decide to make poor drafting decisions, then, well, we just go to another day. So let's look at the pictures. So we see this thing, this pudding, I guess, and we see a desert. So 2 pictures. Let's also remember, if we can, the commissary. I don't remember which day I pointed it out, but there was 2 pictures there, and there were sticky notes on them. One said with, and one said without. And then Alzara said there's a letter missing. So, desert. Pudding. This is not immediately obvious. It might be to you. You might already kind of know where this puzzle is going, and this is a case where I'm pretending not to know, to sort of put on the other hat. I'm pretending not to know this puzzle, the idea being I'm trying to guide you through a very natural progression to understanding how this puzzle works. Here's another one. Rosary. We've seen this. We saw the rosary hands and the crowbar. So it looks like there's not like an infinite possible set of pairs. Like perhaps the pairs are preset. Like the prayer hands always goes with the crowbar. So maybe the desert always goes with the pudding. Okay, let's see what converges here. Hallway is kind of a waste, but bedroom goes the wrong way. This is just bad for where it is in the draft. It's a great room for other places. This continues us to the left, but I don't really want to waste a room of a door in the hallway. What if I use a redraw now? Okay, this is better. I want the pantry here. Commissary is also fine as a room. It just costs a gem, and I don't have enough money to buy anything, so I don't want that. And I'm okay blocking off a door in the chapel. I don't really want to be going through the chapel all that much, except the one time I go through here. That's it. So, let's take this. Okay, stairs, spiral stairs, stars. Okay, well this might be easier to help us start solving this puzzle. Stairs, S-T-A-I-R-S, stars, S-T-A-R-S. Stairs with stairs without stars. Stairs minus stars. What letter is in stairs that is not in stars? If you took the word stairs and you removed all the letters that were in stars, what would you be left over with? I. Just like the pictures, there is a letter missing. That was Alzara's clue. So this might be symbolizing the letter I. Parlor would be perfect if it went the other direction. So I guess I'm forced to take security here. I mean, I'm not totally forced. There's a path through here, but I'm trying not to to limit my options too much this early in the run. This is a plane in the sky. It could be another word, but plane is the most obvious word. This is a chart, a graph, a plan. This is a plan, plane and plan. This could reference the letter E. And in fact, the letter E is right there. So letter I, letter E, whatever that could mean. Since we're here, we might as well set our security level. I missed anything? I missed a gem. Wonder where that could be. We want to set the security level low because we don't have a key card and we haven't turned off the system. But we'll also set this to unlocked mode just in case we find a breaker box. There's security menu. Is there any reason to go log into the network? I don't think so. Let me do it anyway. I'm going to log in. That's a beautiful sound. I know there was... Oh, we could order something for the commissary. That won't be there till tomorrow. We could order something. That's in the staff services. The rest of this doesn't matter. Unless there's a new announcement. No. Saturday, November 7th. So we're after that, but it's day 5. So the earliest this can be is day 12. Is that right? No, the earliest this could be is day 11, because if day 1 was the 7th of November, then this is going to be November 11th, but it's going to be Sunday. Tuesday, Wednesday. Wednesday, November 11th is the earliest day this could be if this announcement was made the day I started. Okay. Special orders. I now know a few more items, so I think we got the compass before. I'm not too excited about it. Magnifying glass was neat for inspecting documents, but it kind of has a one-time use. Once you know what the document says, you don't need it anymore. Metal detector is always good. Running shoes are fine. I do like them for preserving steps, but I don't always need it. Shovel is just a great thing to have. Sleeping mask, we might have had earlier. That's a nice one. Sledgehammer is also pretty good. I'm gonna say the commissary needs to have a metal detector in it. That's what I want it to have. I've found in my, admittedly limited experience playing the game, because I've only done a few runs of it and I haven't gone super far, I haven't discovered every secret. Maybe there's some really good secret with the staff services. I just haven't uncovered it. It doesn't matter all that much what you order for the commissary. Things will be fine. I can't do any of the other stuff. So that's that. Huh. The picture of me at the table moves. It's not super accurate, but it's close enough. Okay, so this is the only way I can go. Corridor is the best. Darkroom is the best one. As far as, opening paths for me. But it is risky because I can't see the rooms that I choose. But what I could do is say, we're going to put the darkroom here, and we're going to go look for a breaker box on the other path through the chapel. Doggone it, I need to enter it first, though. I think I wasted a step by doing that. Now, if I go in and draft rooms, I won't know what they are. The risk is that I draft dead ends, and I just completely screw myself over. So I don't want to put myself in that position right now, so I'm going to go in through here. I'm going to look. There it is. I was going to say, I missed the computer told me I missed a gem. This is the only room I hadn't explored, so I was looking at the pews for the gem, but it was over there. Anyway, if I don't find the breaker box, that's okay. I can still go through the dark room, but the risk is that I choose dead ends and then end my run. Hallway, this is a terrible place for it, but I have no other choice. It's actually a great place for a hallway if it was pointed the other way. It is currently pointed so that one of the rooms is wasted. We have a tub and a bat. A bath and a bat. So the letter represented by this pair is H. So I have an H, an I, and an E. I have no idea what this means yet. I mean, I do, but in this run I have no idea what this means. Okay, so we have a dead end. This run is not going super well. It's all my fault. I'm drafting very poorly, but this run isn't going well. I'm going to take the library because we haven't been in the library yet. There's train tracks. We got a mine cart on it. We have a car. Oh, car. This is T. That's what that stands for. So the way the library works is that I can select one of these books, and then the next time I draft the library, I will be able to read that book. So books and periodicals requested with this form will be pulled and available next time you draft the library. There's only 6 books here, but it is possible to increase this selection. Let's kind of go through what would be the best thing. All of them are good. I mean, I've seen all these books before. I know what it contains. I think I'm going to start with the drafting strategy. Am I going to for this run? The drafting strategy is going to sort of tell us like how to play the game. The other stuff, let's do this. We'll see the library more. We're going to come back here and see all the books. That's the idea. But this is going to give us sort of the basics of how to play the game. There might also be some other clues we would want to know. So additional reading. The house directory is a great resource for information. If you wish to read more about a specific room in your house, press R to pull up the directory. So if I do that, I can look at all of the rooms that I've seen before. And yeah, I don't think it'll show me anything I haven't seen yet. Interesting, the entrance hall is not room number 1. And then room number 46, of course, we have no idea what's in there. So let's keep going. Oh, there's some stairs. We can take those up. Let's see what we got here. Mount Holly records. Total time, 3 hours. Okay, so this is my game records. We're on day 5. Longest day was about 50 minutes. Average day is about 47. It's because I'm yapping. That's really what it is. If I wasn't doing that and just kind of gunning for things, I could finish these in about 10 to 20. Steps taken, who cares? Keys turned. Gems used. Gold spent. Allowance, so I just got that up. Total stars, total rooms drafted. So this isn't stuff you really like need to know, but if you're interested. Billiard stuff. Dartboard star. Yeah, so I solve puzzles every time I draft the parlor and billiard rooms. Upgrade discs. I found one, so there's going to be multiple of those. I think the upgrade discs are like preset. They're not randomized, so if you find one somewhere, it's always there every time you start the game. There might be some randomization, but for the most part, I think they're all in designated spots. That's that. I don't think there's anything else up here we can do. There's the one more book there. I just don't think there's other items you can find up here. We'll see. So here's the scrapbook. Some stuff. My favorite floor plans, West Wing Hall. So can't seem to ever pass it up. Might mean that every time I've seen it in the draft, I've taken it, but I don't think that's true. It just means it's the one I'm least likely to not take. So if I see it in the draft pool, I usually take it. But the most drafted is the chapel, apparently. The pantry, of course, and the den. Those three you gotta have. Chapel is a red room, yes, but it has 3 exits. It's usually very useful, even though you lose 1 coin. Most paid for. Well, I've done the security 3 times, I guess, so that's passageway, courtyard. Passageway costs 2 gems, so I've only done it once. Most time spent in entrance hall, that's not surprising. Contraptions I've made. Pick sound amplifier. So this will, remind me how to make these. This looked like a really useful one, so if I have both the lockpick and the metal detector, I might make it. If I get a workshop. Receipt for gem pack. Largest purchase. I did that the other day. I don't know what this is. Maybe one day. I've never taken the locksmith, and I've seen it a bunch of times. I've actually never taken all 3 of these, but I've seen the locksmith more than the others, so it becomes the most avoided floor plan. Like, I almost never want the mage chamber. It's really rare that you want to pick that one up. Coat check has its uses, but so far it hasn't had a use for me, and locksmith is the same. It has uses, but it's always shown up for me in a place that I do not want it. I suppose if I'm like at the end of a day and there's really no point anymore, like I know I'm not going to get anywhere, I might draft the locksmith just to see what's inside it, but I'm not at that point yet. So we have a dead end. What is the best thing to do here? Study. While drafting, you may spend gems to redraw floor plans up to 8 times. Laundry room, launder currency. Music room, 1 major key, 1 minor key. I'm going to ignore laundry room here. I actually happen to know what's in all 3 of these rooms, or at least the basics. There's probably secrets I don't know about. Happen to know the basics, and I know for a fact this one won't help, but even just looking at these 3 things, this isn't going to help me. Launder currency, I don't really have a lot of stuff, so I don't want a room that does that. This room looks pretty good, having 2 keys in it. Gem requirement of 2 is kind of scary, but I got 4 gems. Sure, it's got a door here that's a waste because it's not going anywhere. Minor keys are these. They're just the keys I pick up. A major key is a special key, like a silver key. So that's really nice. The study, the special ability is pretty good if you want to hold on to a lot of gems, but it does mean that I can just keep redrawing rooms, provided I have the gems, if I don't like what I get, which could be very, very useful. I'm actually going to take the study. The other reason is the part of me that knows how the game is played. This is an important room for solving this puzzle. It's possible to solve without this room, but this room helps a lot. We do have another safe here, which we have no way of solving. I mean, like, I could do this and see what happens, but nothing's going to happen. Yeah. Oh, we got a key card. Okay, so let's go back to security and turn the security up really high. Because it doesn't matter if we lock or unlock things. We don't need a breaker box because the key card will get us in if the security's on, and if security's off, it's in unlocked mode. Coat, cat, cold, old, sturdy, study. So this is what we were doing with the pictures. Acre, face, ace. Craft, raft, beard, bard. I don't know if it's possible with so little time left, but I need to remember to ask Anne, that's Mrs. Babbage, if we can commission new artwork for all the rooms of the house. We need them produced in sets of 2, a pair for each room. Honestly, I have no idea what I'm thinking. I'm likely delusional to think this can be pulled off by Thursday. We're not sure who wrote this note, though. but it seems to be in reference to this puzzle. So we have like a tag that says the word 10, like a dog tag. And then here we have a deer, or perhaps a stag. Stag and tag is S. But here we go, 44 letters in the message. Unused pairings, glove, love, sting, sing. Who cares? These are unused. But this looks like this map. And if we see here, they've got the letter F, face, and ace. This is where that would go. That would be F. And if we remember the pictures, one of them was the Queen of Diamonds, and the other one was the Ace of Spades. Queen is a face card. The diamond is an ace, face and ace. That gives us the letter F. So it would seem that the way to solve this puzzle is to look at the letter that is left over between the two. Stag and tag makes S. Look where it is, and then write down that letter. I'm not going to like do a weird thing where I show you my work here. I'm going to basically tell you what the letters are for the things, and as we go, I'll remind you of what we spelled so far, and it will seem like I just have all of this memorized. But don't worry, I have a sheet that I'm working off of, and you should be definitely writing stuff down if you are intending to solve this puzzle yourself. Don't try to do it from memory. So if stag and tag, this is S. We have an F here, we have an S here. And if we read from the top this way, we will eventually get a message that should help us out. So it's very important that we draft this room at least once. The special ability might be useful, but I was really just hoping for the clue. Okay, so we've lost a bit of money doing that, but that's okay. That's okay. Not my greatest draft day, but as long as we get the clue there. I should be looking at the pictures, though, shouldn't I? Here, let's waste a few steps while we do this. So in the closet, we're going to see what fits here. So we have a tree and a pin. We've seen this one before, the safety pin and the tree. Well, pin, a type of tree that looks like this, is a pine tree. Pine and pin makes E, F-E-S. Okay, we're doing something there now. Let's see what we got in the den. There. Crowbar. Praying. Well, pray, what's something you do with a crowbar is pry, so this would be A. A-F-E-S. Let's look in the storeroom. So we have desert here, or sand dune. And here we have a pudding, a dessert. Dessert has two S's, desert has one, so the missing letter is S. S-A-F-E-S, safes. So this puzzle is going to tell us about the safes we've been seeing. The one in the study, the one in the office we saw, the one in the boudoir. Are those the three we've seen? I think we've only seen those three. All right, and then stare star gives us eye, so there's an eye here. It's okay, I'm not going to see the ones there again. We'll see them again at some point, and you can work out with the messages, only getting like 2/3 of them anyway. So this could be plain and plan, which is A. No, it isn't. Plain and plan is E, so E-I. Well, let's just work out what's a word that has an E-I in it. Unless this is the middle of a word, any word that starts with E-I and has 5 letters. Just be thinking of that. So now we have to risk the dark room. There is nothing we can do about it. We are just going to hope we don't hit dead ends. It's more likely that the gem rooms are not dead ends, but there is no guarantee. That is a dead end. It's a nursery. But at least with the nursery, we have pictures on the wall. So we have this thing that's usually used for like wedding cakes or something. No, it's not a wedding cake. It's the thing you put like the little cakes on, like cupcakes and things. This is a tie, T-I-E. Well, this is the thing like with tiers, tier, T-I-E-R, T-I-E. So this is an R. So R goes here. R-E-I, safes. Okay, it all comes down to this. If I pick a dead end, it's over. Let's hope courtyard is this one. Garage. Okay, it's over. This is a dead end. So you could say a far less useful day, right? Because we drafted only half the house. I could have done better. I started with a closet, which definitely really screwed me over, and then I decided to go for these things here. I picked things with dead ends immediately so I could get what items I wanted, and ended up not having anything else I could make, and I got unlucky with the placement of the dark room. This happens. It does not matter how good you are, you will occasionally get days that you just get screwed over. That's how the game works, but it's okay. We got some allowance today. We now know how this puzzle works with the letters that go on the grid. So we actually gained a lot of knowledge, a lot of other kind of stuff. So the next day we could possibly be more successful. So I'm going to call it a day here. There's nothing else I can do. Going back to the trading post and trying to trade these is useless. Trading items won't do me anything. I can't use those items anywhere. So that's it. Game over. And then here we can see, results screen. It's probably not going to have anything interesting here. Yeah, rank reached 4 is pretty bad, I will say. Like, I feel pretty bad if I only get to rank 4. But it happens. Every once in a while, it happens. Steps taken, items found, new rooms 3. That's it. Okay, well, despite all that, I've had fun. So I will see people next time when we might make some more steps to solving this new puzzle. Until then, I would like to thank all 1 million of my fans for watching and donating me a ton of money. So that was fun. Can't say it with a straight face. Goodbye.